friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lindsay and I am all about cozy travel, charming small towns, beautiful national parks, and slow-paced adventures that let you really slow down and enjoy the moment. I love showing off little hidden gems, places to eat, places to stay, and how to make any trip feel special. For my 30th birthday, my boyfriend and I decided to head to the Poconos for a cozy little weekend getaway. We stayed 2 nights and wanted a mix of nature, quaint towns, and a really slow, relaxing vibe. This trip was less about packing in as many hikes as possible and more about actually enjoying where we were, which honestly made it feel extra special. So let's get started. We left New Jersey after breakfast around 10 a.m. and drove straight to our first stop, the Delaware Water Gap. Devastatingly, the visitor center was closed due to the government shutdown, which was such a bummer because I usually get my National Park Passport stamp. Since it's a national recreation area, I had really been looking forward to it, but luckily we found another visitor center that was still open, and this was the Poconos Environmental Education Center. This was such a fun surprise, and the center had so many hands-on exhibits and really cool educational things, including a life-size beaver dam and all these creepy taxidermied animals. I loved wandering around and reading everything. It felt like a mini adventure before our hike. After we were finished, we headed to our hike at the Scenic Gorge Trail. The hike itself was peaceful because we barely saw anybody else there. The trail was more uphill than I expected, which made it a little challenging, but the calm forest, the light, the way it all filtered through the trees, the quiet energy, it was just so enjoyable. At the end of the trail, we came across this slightly creepy but super fascinating old headstone. It was such a fun little surprise, definitely one of those unexpected moments that really makes a hike memorable. After hiking, we stopped for lunch at Muller's Family Restaurant in East Stroudsburg. Their slogan is "No one leaves hungry," and they absolutely deliver on that. My sandwich was huge, and my boyfriend got the most incredible onion rings. Everything was classic, comforting, and exactly what we needed after a long hike. Once we finished up lunch, we headed out to the Old Engine Works Marketplace in Stroudsburg. This place is packed with antiques from nearly 100 different vendors. We spent almost 2 hours wandering through all these booths. There were so many treasures, reasonably priced too, and a lot of local history, which I love when visiting somewhere new. If you love antiquing, this is a must visit. Once it was time, we finished up our antiquing and we headed to check in at our hotel. We stayed at the Swiftwater in Swiftwater, Pennsylvania, and honestly, it was incredible. The amenities, the room, everything was gorgeous. The staff was so friendly, and they even gave us little matching robes and slippers. For dinner, we went to Barley Creek Brewing Company in Tannersville, and I had this delicious soup and a massive pretzel. My boyfriend had a big bowl of pasta, and everything was really good. And by the time we got back to the hotel, we were exhausted and ready to crash for the night. Again, this is a cozy vacation, so we wanted to keep it low-key, and if we were ready for bed, we were ready for bed. The next morning, we had breakfast at the hotel, which was actually included. We got 1 free meal with our stay. I got the Eggs Benedict, which was totally solid, but my boyfriend's waffle, incredible. I still think about it. After breakfast, we drove to Jim Thorpe, which I had been super excited about visiting. I was a little nervous about parking, but since it was Tuesday and we arrived early, it wasn't a problem at all. The town was just as cute and cozy as I'd imagined, and being there on a weekday, which was super important, made it feel really calm, and the crowds were never overwhelming. Our first stop was the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway train ride, which was so nostalgic and relaxing. It lasted about a half an hour, and the fall colors were stunning. I loved how peaceful it was. It was the perfect way to start the day, and I love trains, so this was incredible. Afterward, we wandered around town and stopped for donuts at Donerds, which were really good, and we visited the Old Jail Museum. I wasn't sure what to expect here, but it really was fascinating, and the museum goes into the history of the jail and the town. It was super eerie at times, and they did have it decorated for Halloween, but it was really engaging, and I loved how unique it was. After a full day of exploring, we headed back to the hotel for dinner. We went to Thai Chang Cuisine, and I had been craving Thai food for days. I don't know why, but this place did not disappoint. It hit the spot perfectly, and I was just really happy to have a warm, cozy meal after a long day of exploring. The next day, we packed up and headed back to New Jersey. We felt really relaxed and refreshed. It was the perfect way to spend a weekend. Overall, the Poconos was such a lovely place to spend my birthday. There was a wonderful mix of nature, charming small towns, and great antiquing spots. If you can, I highly recommend visiting during the week. It makes everything feel calmer and more serene. I loved our hotel and would definitely recommend it if you want a little luxury with your cozy weekend without breaking budget. If you prefer something more rural or private, an Airbnb is also a great option, and there were so many you could check out. Thank you so much for watching, and if you loved this cozy Poconos trip, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye!